It was a quiet night, and on the table sat a piggy bank filled with shiny coins, each clinking softly as if whispering secrets. Ion picked it up and shook it gently. Clink, clink, clink. He opened it and his eyes widened. The coins were almost gone. Where did it go? He wondered, his heart racing as if the money had vanished into thin air. Smoke-like trails seemed to curl up from the empty piggy bank, disappearing into nothing. He ran to his tablet and checked his online account, hoping the money was still there. But it wasn't. He remembered every coin he had saved, from small chores, from birthdays, from his allowance, and suddenly the loss felt enormous. He had dreams, big dreams, a shiny red bicycle, a backpack full of books, maybe even a small toy robot. But now it all seemed to vanish. His savings, his dreams, slipping away. Worry settled over him like a shadow. Could he get it back? He thought perhaps he had spent too much, or maybe hidden subscriptions were quietly stealing his money. Taking a deep breath, he knew he needed a plan. Step 1. Understand where his money went. He grabbed a notebook and wrote down every expense he remembered, carefully noting each coin. He checked online subscriptions and found tiny, sneaky charges had been hiding there for months. Shock and worry filled him, but then his friend Sarah appeared and smiled. Use a budgeting app, she suggested. It will show you everything. Curious and hopeful, Ion downloaded the app. At first, the numbers and charts were confusing, overwhelming even, but slowly he began to understand. Streams of coins seemed to flow into labeled jars on the screen. Needs, wants, and savings, and he realized how easily small spending added up. Candy, toys, tiny treats here and there, all slipping away unnoticed. It wasn't just about saving. It was about control, about knowing where his dreams were going. He created a budget chart, labeled jars, and set small goals. First a few extra coins each week, then a bigger target. Each day he checked his progress, flipping calendar pages as coins stacked neatly in their place. At first he stumbled, buying a snack without thinking. Regret washed over him like a sudden rainstorm, but he didn't give up. Step by step, coin by coin, he regained control. Each small success felt bigger than the last, and with every victory his confidence grew. Soon, his savings began to grow steadily. His dream of the bicycle felt closer than ever, and he had learned the first secret of money: patience, careful planning, and the power of small, consistent steps. As the days passed, Ion became more disciplined. He resisted small temptations, like candies at the shop or a shiny new toy that called out to him from the display. Each time he paused and thought, "Do I really need this or do I want it?" He felt a quiet sense of pride, as though he were taming tiny, invisible creatures trying to steal his coins. Slowly, the coins in his digital jars grew, and his confidence grew with them. Sometimes he would check his progress and smile, seeing the steady climb of numbers on the screen, like tiny mountains forming from the ground up. Yet the path wasn't always smooth. One day, he gave in to an impulse and bought a small snack he hadn't planned for. The regret was immediate, curling around him like a dark cloud. He sighed but reminded himself that a single misstep didn't erase all the progress he had made. He adjusted his budget, moved coins around, and started again, learning that patience and consistency were stronger than any fleeting temptation. He even began to teach Sarah what he was learning. Together, they laughed at how sneaky their little expenses could be, imagining them as tiny goblins running off with their coins in the night. Each day became a small adventure, a puzzle to solve. Ion discovered that money, when managed carefully, could give him freedom rather than stress. He tracked his spending, logged every expense, and celebrated every small victory, like saving an extra coin or refusing an unnecessary treat. The coins began to pile steadily, and the piggy bank, once nearly empty, looked as if it were growing heavier with every passing day. He visualized his bicycle sitting in the garage, shiny and waiting, a reward for his discipline and determination. But just when he thought the path was clear, a sudden unexpected expense arrived. A broken school bag, a small medical bill, a replacement notebook. The coins he had carefully stacked seemed to vanish all at once, leaving him tense and worried. Ion's heart, By 7:01, they crossed the base perimeter. Floodlights ignited. Sirens screamed. Every weapon opened fire. Missiles couldn't arm in time. Guns struggled to track targets barely above the ground. The base was awake. Too late. 7 drones were seconds from their targets, arriving exactly as planned, from every angle at once. This wasn't just an attack. It was a lesson in how modern wars are fought, not with brute force, but by turning machines against their own senses. Staring at his empty piggy bank was replaced by a focused, determined saver who understood that every coin counted. He had faced setbacks, temptations, and small failures, but he had also celebrated victories, learned lessons, and gained confidence. The journey had taught him not just about coins, but about responsibility, decision-making, and the joy of achieving something through careful effort. Each step, each choice, each coin added back into the piggy bank brought him closer to his dream bicycle, and closer to understanding the real magic behind saving. Patience, persistence, and the power of small, consistent actions over time.